Hello, it is me once again, and today I still want to talk about the power of today. But I noticed last time in my video I said something that I want to rectify, not because it was wrong, but because it has particular details, a particular detail that is important to human existence. When I said you have to find as many ways as possible, not to be where you don't want to be, I meant in God. And by that I meant, there's prayer, there's meditation, there's forgetting your past, there's lifting yourself up in spirit, like I mentioned in the previous video. So let me start from there. But without wasting your time, I will continue from the power of today. And today I am speaking to the ladies. Oh, please, men, watch. You're welcome to join the conversation so that you get to see what we have to. Anyway, so today, as I speak to the ladies, the reason I want to speak to the ladies is not because I am segmenting this, not to work for the men, but I want us to be able to wake up to a certain time that we are in, and then so that we are able to move accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the power of today, ladies, the power of today, particularly today is 25th of June 2025, and you could be a lady and you're born in the 2000s, you're born in the 1990s like myself, you're born in the 1880s. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, life has a principle, and in this particular incident, the cause and effect principle, life as a principle applies to all, irrespective. Yeah, of course, different times have different ways through which that particular principle also happens to play. But right now, mostly if you're alive right now, I'm talking to a person who's still alive, a person who still wants to function in this season and time, a lady. Yes. Ladies. Yo, no, there's nothing that I'm going to say here that I've not seen either via experience or observation or mere learning and revelation. Yeah, because let me tell you, at the end of the day, experience is the best teacher. But have you tried revelation? Hello, have you tried revelation? Yes, revelation will define your experiences. Revelation will define what you go through in life. So may the Spirit of the Lord speak through me right now, so that I'm telling you all revelation, ladies. Now, today we live in a special time, if you are to ask me. Very, very, very uniquely special. In a way that so much looks like it's putting us at the same pedestal as men. But we'll never be. We will never be. Now, so many women know that, and they take advantage of it, to their benefit. Some women don't, and they are women in men fields. That's what today likes to call it anyway. So in the power of today, I would want us to talk and discover how can we potentially be women in this world that requires you to pay your bills, that requires, this one is sad, that requires you to take care of your children without a man, that requires you to literally do just about the same as men do, but without being men. Yo. If you had told me being a woman was going to be this enticing, I'd still come back as one. I'd still come back as one. Because now, you notice that naturally we have a lot of power as women, both spiritually, as spiritual conduits, but naturally because of the responsibilities and everything that we're supposed to nurture and bring to life. So it behoves you to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Why did I say physically twice? Sometimes I look around and I'm like, you've allowed yourself get out of shape, girl. Why? Not that physical exercise really mean a lot. I don't want to shade or body shame anybody. People are comfortable. By the way, beauty has standards, and all those standards happen to be earthly. Yeah, so let me not even dwell on that. Taking care of yourself physically means you loving yourself the way you are. And you could be with a big tummy, and your reason for that is the rivers of life are flowing through you. Oh, other excuse, exercise hurts you or whatever. Personally, I exercise like twice, 2 weeks, and then I sleep like 2, because I'm thinking, why am I wasting all this energy putting in, I can shape my body up from spirit and do a little bit just here. Anyway, let me not go off course. Let me remain on course. Ladies, we are endowed with so much, and that's a beautiful thing. We happen to live in a world where we have to wake up at 6, 5, go do jobs, work alongside men, get the same pay or less or more. And you notice that is sort of like requires you to have a divine element that keeps you grounded in your femininity and not fly all over as though you don't know what you are. So many women today have, I won't say lost themselves, but have turned into something else. They've turned into something else that is quite difficult to identify. Case an example, just because you lead men and give orders to men at work does not make you less of a woman to your husband at home. I'm not married, I'm just saying, because hey, that's a field I will venture in, so I can as well take the revelation that I can early, as early as possible, so that I don't have to walk through the mistakes that the society is causing. A husband in a home is a priest of a home. That's if, of course, you marry. That's if, of course, you married a man who can take care of your spiritual needs as well. This does not apply to any woman that settled below the score in spiritual affairs. There, you are going to be hard-headed together with your man, and God help you, because at the end of the day, God can revive anything, really. So it's just a matter of you breaking yourself before the Lord and say, you know what, I made this mistake, correct it for me. Honestly, my reason is not to ponder into the married people's life. I will talk about that when I get there. For now, let me stick to today, the modern woman. Modern woman, just because you work so hard doesn't mean you close your chambers. Manaki, we are too annoyed. We're too annoyed, I'm telling you. And I'm saying we because of courtesy. Me, I'm jumping out of that train like so fast. So fast. It will be one day and yeah, you look for me in that train and you'll not see me because I'm thinking, what is happening? Why are we annoyed? Today, let's take our power back. Let's have that divine glow. Let's be the soft cushion that these men need, and I'm not talking about these men like you should have 5 of them or 6 or 7 or whatever. If at all you do, I salute you. I hope you know how to manage. Today I think I'm going to do a lot of laughing because women, we need to take a chill pill. We need to take a chill pill. Today we have devalued ourselves so much and we've not thought about the simple aspect of the fact that we're living in a world where we are coexisting with men and we should be a little wiser and a little sharper. A compliment shouldn't throw you down flat. Hey, that one I'm speaking out of experience, my friend. Hi. A compliment? Like, why these things coexist? If you know you're naturally beautiful, why is a man telling you you're beautiful and the next thing you know you want to you're everything for them to see how beautiful you are before they even show you what they want to do with that beauty, what essence that beauty means for them, how it's hectic. This is about it. It's a very laughable topic for me, but it's actually also hectic. It's actually very long. It's long. Everything is like this. I want to tell you everything is like this. My head going like this, but I'll still have a girl chat today with the cause and effect to the power of today. Let's settle down. We happen to have the same amount of destiny placed on our hearts by God. God wants us to go out there and do particular things. God wants us to go there, spread his word. God wants us to go out there and show his light, And in one way or another, we are tending to be distracted. Of course, let me say this for clarity, because you may be watching this video and you're like, you don't speak for me. Of course, I don't intend to speak for you, but what I mean is we are stuck in the times of, a girl has to do this and then do this and then do this and then do this. Like we have certain measures that define us as women at a society level, but we've neglected our spiritual callings and our spiritual requirements to be able to be relevant in the times of today. So that reduces our value, and we feel like we can only get validation from either overperforming or taking in a lot of disrespect or being puppets, going into relationships or marriages for survival, doing certain things because society deems them relevant or useful. And you notice that the ones that are trying to break the norm are doing it negatively. Like, I'm not going to say explicit words because we are not friends. I'm just trying to pass on a message, so I will not invite you to how terrible my language can get. But hey, I know who I am, I know what I got, I know what. So at the end of the day, you use that to tarnish men. And you know, I used to have a particular preference in certain messages that were, I believe, close to my heart. And those messages were really just little signs and alignments for me to be able to see, I agree with this, I don't agree with this. Oh, this is funny. Oh, this is right. Oh, and then most of those messages, I was careful to make sure they are not feminist messages. But, you know, agendas are quite huge, and some of them are fronted with so much zeal. Nobody's trying to hide nothing. But then some are sugar-coated to appeal to you, to make it look like, yeah, this is good, this is fine. So I was in those sugar-coated ones where I'm like, justifying all the nonsense within me, all of it, sugar-coating it. Actually, let me call it the right word, sugar-coating it. And I'm in those messages, I'm taking it. But at the end of the day, I woke up and I realized, you know what? Slowly but surely, I am turning into a she. And this is not part of the plan. This is not what I want. This is not what God would want me to do, because why am I making a man feel small? One time God gave me an experience. This is now just really a revelation. I was sitting in an Uber. I didn't have so much money. I think I had around 250,000 on my mobile money, and it was fixed. I had stuff to do, you know. And then I was in a moment of isolation where I don't want to interact or do anything with anybody or even go out. So I get tricked by the spirit to step out. It's like, yeah, you take an Uber. I'm like, oh, but I could literally do a border. I'm like, okay, Uber. You know, sometimes you do those things and you say, okay, let me do this to manifest more of these standard those things. But essentially, it's not like I was going out to do anything. So I dressed nice, I put on high heels, I was looking good, and then I entered the Uber, and then the trip was saying 13,000 to 16,000 Ugandan shillings. You can calculate that and see how much that is to your currency. Now, I sat down and there was a young boy, a young man who was driving, very young. I could tentatively give him the age of 24 to, 24 or 23, 24, 25. He definitely doesn't exceed 25. So one day I look at him, remember being in my period of, not talking to anybody and all that. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm determined not to say a word to him. Because, I mean, just drop me, man. Just drop me. What conversation can we possibly have? Now, we're on the way and I turn for some reason and I look at him. And he reminds me of the fact that he's out here doing a job. For my convenience, he's doing a job. And I'm like, oh, it's cute. Then I look at him and I'm trying to assess his financial stand, and I'm like, but he's trying, you know, he's doing his best. He's not out there stealing, he's not out there doing what. And then it reminded me of particular messages that I used to really, really love with all my heart, body, and soul. Of if a man don't get money, he don't talk to me. What those things. I don't need to continue this message. Those who don't know, and those who don't know, I know you know what I'm talking about. Hey, so I look at him, and for some reason I feel compelled to pray a blessing on his life. I'm like, God, help him out. Because usually when women like us look at men like this, we straight away tarnish them to, what can he do for me? What can he possibly do? Well, you don't even need to roll your eyes. You just need to say it. People have set up standards and they are that, like, excuse me, I'm not saying that I would deliberately go for a man I know that cannot take care of me right now. I know better. To know that even those who can take care of you are probably doing it to feel good about themselves, but not because it's something they love to do, not because they are getting it out of their natural divine responsibility to provide. Now, takes me back to the fact that I think women have turned this into a bitter challenge, and we are making it hard to even see it's not right to fall for the potential of somebody, but you don't rubbish the potential of somebody just because it doesn't meet your expectations or standards. And many of us are on that trail, and I'm sure sometimes men look at our pictures, our captions, our everything, and they're like, eh. Again, I won't speak for men. Sometimes men love the challenge. They love to come and find out, are you truly all about what you say you are? Because because I don't lose trying and finding out that you are not, So you better be solid in whatever your standards or expectations are as a woman of today, because I kid you not, people are out there to test and see if surely you are what you say you are. It's so funny. I'm sorry I'm having so much laughter in this one, but it's more of a chill pill. It's more of a chill pill approach today, because as women we need to learn to do things for ourselves, without necessarily waiting to be spoon-fed, because that's not the time we are in. If God is telling you, go execute this business, go get that contract, go do what, and then you are you're looking around waiting for a man to come and save you like Jesus Christ did, girl. You're about to land the nice way. You're about to land the nice way. Let me rectify this. This is not to tarnish the women who have lovely, adorable men that will not watch them suffer in this day and age. Because they're there. Man, hello, my woman this, my woman that. Because again, it's from their divine, natural approach that they're able to do what they're able to do. And we give them claps for that. We do appreciate them. We do appreciate. And you, who is in that position, please don't just sit there like a flower. Like, develop. This world is way beyond you sitting at home in your living room and doing nothing. There's a society out there that needs your expertise, that needs your comfort. If you have a voice and you can speak, there's so much healing to do, there's so much nurturing to do. There's so many kids out there that are so confused. They would appreciate you sticking out your hand for them, and in one way or another, whichever way you are able to do this. And at the end of that day, manage your divine existence and be useful today. Yes, we will give birth to the children. Yes, we will take care of them. Yes, we will take care of our men and husbands and all that, but there's society, there's industries that are waiting for your natural talents. There's just don't sit home and do nothing. You could just be a simple beautician, and you know how to concoct beauty stuff and make women feel beautiful and all that, and just because you scored a lovely man, you just sit down and do nothing about anything. Come on. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. Now, I purpose to make this short. I still have a lot to say. I think I will definitely go into my third video about this, because I feel like there's a lot. Some women are shackled, like their mind is stuck in failure. Their mind is stuck in things that they failed to achieve, or past relationships that hurt so bad, and they feel like they've defined themselves according to that pattern. You are nothing, you are useless, you are what? Ugh. All those ugly things that are not necessary. And we need a positive mind. We need an expectant mind. We need a contributing aspect to our life, so that we nurture all these people and be excellent and good and all those things. So ladies, I will be back with more of this. I definitely will be back with more of this, so do pay attention and keep watch.